How often do we worry about things outside our control? What others think of us? How the world will respond to our actions or circumstances that we can't change? Stoicism teaches us to release that burden. Marcus wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. You cannot control the actions of others, the weather, or the future, but you can control your attitude and your response to any situation. Recognizing this gives you the freedom to act without fear of external forces, knowing that the most important thing is how you choose to think and behave. The impermanence of life. Embrace mortality to live fully." Marcus Aurelius lived in constant awareness of the transience of life. The Stoics were deeply aware of death, not as something to fear, but as a natural and inevitable part of existence. In fact, embracing the reality of death is one of the most powerful teachings in Stoicism. Marcus would often remind himself, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." By keeping death in mind, we're reminded that our time is limited. We are often consumed with trivial concerns, distractions, and things that don't truly matter. But when you truly embrace the idea that life could end at any moment, you naturally begin to prioritize what really counts: love, virtue, integrity, and doing good in the world. Marcus didn't let his awareness of death make him anxious. Instead, it made him focused. "Life is very short," he wrote, "and yet people are always running after things that will not bring them any true joy. Why waste time on things that don't matter? Virtue is the only true good." Marcus Aurelius' Stoic philosophy centered on the idea that the only true good is virtue. Power, wealth, and fame are fleeting and ultimately hollow. It is our character, our integrity, and our ability to act justly, courageously, and wisely that constitute real value. No matter what happens in the external world, your virtue, your inner strength, and moral compass remains yours. Marcus wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, and the quality of your thoughts depends on the virtues you cultivate: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance." The Stoics were all about mastering their inner world. They knew that the true measure of a life well lived is not in external achievements, but in living according to the highest moral standards, regardless of external circumstances. Live with purpose. The art of being present. Another essential Stoic teaching is the idea of living with purpose. Marcus Aurelius didn't simply exist. He knew he was put on this earth for a reason: to serve and to do good. His role as emperor was important, but so was his role as a human being, living a virtuous life, improving himself, and contributing to the world. The question for you today is, what is your purpose? It doesn't matter if you're not emperor of Rome. Your life is still incredibly meaningful. Like Marcus, you have an opportunity to serve, to improve, and to live a life that leaves a positive impact. Live with intention, because every moment matters. You're not dead yet, and that's a gift. You may not have centuries like Marcus or Seneca. You may not have years to waste, but you do have today. You have this moment. Just like the Stoic philosophers, you have the opportunity to live a life of virtue, purpose, and meaning right now. You're still alive. That means you can still create, still improve, still do good, and still change your life. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait for ideal circumstances. He took action in the face of death, disease, and chaos. And so can you. Every day you wake up, you're given a chance to be better, to live according to your values, and to make a difference. You may not know how many more moments you'll have, but one thing is for sure. This moment is yours. How will you use it? How will you live this life that you've been given? Will you act with purpose, with clarity, and with the resolve of a Stoic? You are not dead yet, and that's the greatest gift you have. Use it well. Imagine for a moment that you possess the power to remain untouched by chaos, impervious to the stress of daily disruptions, and calmly centered no matter what life throws your way. This is not some mystical or unreachable ideal, but a practical, enduring wisdom that can transform your life today. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, from 161 to 180 A.D., cultivated such power through a philosophy that still resonates with us today. Stoicism. At the heart of his teachings lies a remarkably liberating concept, the power of indifference. But before we rush to misunderstand the word indifference, we must be clear about what it actually means. In modern parlance, indifference often carries a negative connotation, a lack of care, of interest, or even of emotional involvement. However, this is far from what Marcus Aurelius meant by it. In his view, indifference is a selective engagement with the world, a strategic decision to focus on what you can control and detach from what you cannot. This approach doesn't mean withdrawing from life. Quite the opposite. It enhances life by liberating you from unnecessary emotional entanglement and freeing up your energy for what truly matters. In his personal writings, collected in his journal Meditations, which was never intended for public view, Marcus Aurelius spoke to himself in the most intimate way, offering powerful reflections on how to embody virtues such as wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. These reflections were not mere intellectual exercises, but the tools of a man actively engaging with the trials of ruling an empire and living a life of profound challenges, wars, betrayals, losses, and betrayals. The challenges Marcus faced were far from theoretical, and yet his philosophy helped him maintain clarity and calm in the face of overwhelming adversity. The dichotomy of control, central to Stoic philosophy, and particularly to Marcus Aurelius's teachings, is the dichotomy of control, understanding the difference between what we can change and what we cannot. This simple yet profound distinction is the key to peace of mind. There are things beyond our control. We cannot control the weather. We cannot control the past. We cannot control the fact that we will eventually age and die. But here's the crucial part. We can control how we respond to these truths. We can choose how we prepare for a storm. We can reflect on the lessons of the past without being trapped by it. We can accept our aging as a natural part of life and approach it with grace. One of Marcus's most famous meditations captures this concept perfectly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The essence of this wisdom is to recognize that the only thing within your direct control is your mind and the way you respond to the events around you. This brings strength, not in the form of brute force or resistance, but in the form of inner peace. The fluidity of change, like water. Now let's delve into one of the most powerful concepts Marcus Aurelius touched upon, the idea of change. It's not about transformation, as many might think. It's about changing like water. Water does not transform itself into vapor unless subjected to extreme external pressure, but it changes forms naturally based on the situation. Similarly, in life, we are not bound to transformation. We are meant to change, to adapt, but without altering our essence completely. Think of it this way. Water does not worry about its future form. It simply adapts to its surroundings. Whether it is liquid, vapor, or ice, water remains true to its nature, but it changes shape in response to external forces. Transformation, in the Stoic sense, is dangerous because once you transform, like clouds turning into vapor, there is no going back. The clouds can't return to their previous state because external pressures, heat, have permanently changed them. A Stoic understands that change is inevitable, but transformation, where you cannot return to your previous state, is something to avoid. Instead, focus on being fluid, adaptable, changing shape but never forgetting your core nature.